Thank you, Maruk. If Narendra Modi scored some points for that cool selfie, as it has been described by many, soon after he came out from the polling booth, he shot this picture holding out his inked finger. It has now created a massive stir, with the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, in fact, questioning whether Narendra Modi violated the model code of conduct, the election code of ethics. That's the letter that has been sent out by the Congress party to the Election Commission, seeking action, asking the poll panel to register an FIR against him, also saying that a special observer should now be deputed to monitor each and every move of Narendra Modi. His actions need to be monitored, as there has been a violation during the course of the polling day. And there's also been a request from the Congress party to the Election Commission, asking them to disqualify Narendra Modi for what they describe as a blatant violation of election code of conduct. So whether or not Election Commission does that is another matter altogether. But we have seen the poll panel earlier take action against several leaders, but that was in connection with cases related to hate speech and violation of campaign. So it'll be interesting to see what the poll panel does on. Let's in fact now get you the reactions from social media, not only those who are lampooning this attack by the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, or those who are questioning what Narendra Modi do. There are many others who are in fact asking whether some of these guidelines that have been set by the poll panel are in fact trivial and should be done away with. For more on that, let me just quickly go across to PF Hitter.
Thanks, Shashika. Let's take a look at some of these reactions that have been coming in. But I first want to start off with the photograph that caused this controversy. This is what the Congress has been complaining about. Narendra Modi walking out of the polling booth. He has that ink on his fingers, you can see there, holding up the BJP symbol, which is what most voters would recognize, and then clicking that selfie, which just before he gave that press conference. That is the controversy that people are talking about. Salman Anis Soz is a spokesperson of the Congress. He tweets saying, "The media is all over Chiranjeevi about breaking the voting line. If he did that, is it wrong? But did Narendra Modi stand in line to vote? No, where's the outrage on that?" So Salman Anis Soz is trying to spin this one around a bit. Sri Ramakrishnan says all parties and leaders are doing this. The larger point about meaninglessness of these restrictions is taken, but why only talk about Narendra Modi? And I'm going to come back to that question he raises about why is this only about Modi in just a bit, because you have more questions coming in. If Aam Aadmi Party breaks the rules, but Modi openly campaigns on the day of polling, is it okay? And that's why they're talking about this one incident where an Aam Aadmi Party supporter, you can see the broom symbol on her cap, walks into the voting booth and casts her vote. And that seems to have been ignored by the Election Commission. And that is quite in contrast to this interesting photograph, Maruk. This is a photograph of a DMK supporter from the Karur constituency in the last round of voting. Now, this man, according to the report, was dressed in a lungi which had the DMK symbol on it. He was forced by election officials to go back home and change his clothes to come back to vote. Now, he couldn't find another lungi, which did not have a symbol on it apparently. So he dressed up in the only thing he could find, which was his wife's nighty, and he came back and voted in that. So, kudos to him for being committed to the vote despite the obvious problem he would have had there. But that's, that seems to be the double standard here. In one case, you see the Aam Aadmi Party supporter wearing the cap and voting. On the other hand, you have a DMK supporter who was sent back with the symbol on his lungi. And now you have Narendra Modi brandishing the BJP symbol outside the voting booth. What are the rules here? It seems to be a little unclear.